What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to run the stainless cable railing. This is kind of a task that always had intimidated me at first, but it's just a matter of getting out and trying it. Some of the materials that you need: cable of the diameter of your choosing. This is just stainless military cable. The hardware to match the size. Some cable cutters to crimp the hardware to hold the cable on, and some side cutters. First thing I'm going to do is feed it in from one side here all the way down to where it's going to end. Just lay it on the ground. You may want to wear gloves for this. This stuff gets a little dirty on your hands. I don't really mind it, so I'm not going to do that. This is where things get a little bit tricky, but to turn this corner, it's kind of difficult to feed that while this is straight. So what I'll do is just give that a little bit of a pre-bend. And you can stick that in. Because I wouldn't worry about this too much, because that's going to get fed into the part that gets crimped later. So you won't even need to worry about even straightening it too much after you're done. Just kind of turn that corner for you and continue on down your line. I'm almost done here. There's the end there. Continue to feed. All right. All right, now the first side that you get all the way down, you won't need to worry about cutting anything yet. You just put one of these on, and the only side, you're only gonna have to cut one side, which will be the side that's still connected to the remaining amount of material that you have, the cable. Get that off there eventually. So, and then the spacing I have here, you know, that's really just going to be up to you, whatever you want to, however you want your spacing. I went with 5 inches apart. That looks pretty good to me. You're more than welcome to do a foot, however you like it. So you're going to want to just bottom that out as far as it goes. Then take your cable cutters, and that's how I put my crimp on there. Now, when you're crimping this, you don't want to go too high up or too low, because you risk shearing it all the way off, because it's a little weaker at those 2 points. I give it 3 crimps kind of away from both of those points. So one here, right here. And I'll re-crimp them a second time. Check it. It still feels a little loose, so I'm gonna give it some more force, and maybe even a couple more crimps here. There's a 4th one there, and a 5th one. All right, check it. It feels tight, so go ahead and just feed it through. Now there's a lot of ways to mate this cable to the post. There's a lot of different forms of the hardware. I'm going with the little button cap, as requested by my wife. We went ahead and compromised on that. I didn't want to use these, and she did, so we went ahead and used them. Oh, so do you like these turnbuckle ones?
No, I really like the button cap ones.
These here?
Yeah, I love those.
These look pretty nice, these turnbuckles, huh?
The other ones are better.
Alright, looks like we're gonna go with these then, the hand crimp button caps.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, so like I was saying, I didn't really care for the hardware that we ended up going with, but in order to keep a wife happy, you got to compromise sometimes. So that the order of hardware goes the nut, so you can adjust tension this way. Then you put the washer, and I strongly suggest setting these down somewhere where you think they're not going to fall on the ground, because I've lost quite a few of them already. And then you want to have these nuts tensioned on each other so you don't see any gaps. And now we're going to set the length on the other side. I'm gearing up to cut this to length now. The first thing that you're going to want to do before you cut this is understand how far your wire or your cable is going to insert into your fitting before you go making any cuts. Mine dimed out to be 1.5 inches, which with this post diameter, which is 2 inch, somehow I got lucky enough to where I could just cut it flush with this surface, and it would insert far enough and I would have the desired result. But you're going to want to figure that out yourself before you cut it, because you may or may not use this diameter or this length, this diameter post, or this type of hardware. So just do the math for your situation first before you make any cuts. But like I said, I can cut mine flush, so I have it set over there on the other end. Pull that tight, and then I'm just going to cut it here with the side cutters. You just let that fall. You use that later. And now I'm going to repeat the same crimping process as the other side. Take this off. Now we'll give this side a little crimp. Make sure, now you really want to make sure this is bottomed out, because you're cut to length as if you were bottomed out. So you're going to want to make sure that you are. Same deal, give this 3 to 4 crimps. I like 4, but you could do however many you desire. I just don't like the wire falling out. And again, check it. That seems pretty tight. Let that go through. Got my hardware in the basket here. Fasten the nut to hold it. And again, nut, and then washer, and then the little button heads bolt or nut. And there you go. And there you have it. I got 1 more row installed. I got 3 more to go. I wanted to stop midway and share this process with you, because it really is simple, but it's probably something that maybe intimidates certain people to not install it at their house, even though they want to. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed.